welcome to the deep dive. So today we're looking at something quite common, but maybe surprisingly intricate.
Navigating a restaurant in English.
Exactly. And we're not just talking about, basic tourist phrases. We've got this really comprehensive guide here.
Yeah, and it lays out these two quite distinct levels of language you need.
Right. 2 levels.
And that's the key, I think. It's not just a phrasebook approach. We're looking at a fluency strategy.
Okay.
Our source material, it frames it as a 2-part journey, which is, how we'll approach it today.
Makes sense.
First, we build that absolutely essential toolkit, the basics, A2, maybe B1 level stuff.
This is the foundation.
This is the bedrock. It's what gets rid of the anxiety, lets you function confidently.
That sounds crucial. Just being able to walk in, say what you need, get a table, order, without that feeling of panic.
Precisely. That's the goal for part 1. But then
we shift gears.
Dramatically. We move into what the guide calls C1 Advanced Mastery.
And this is where it gets subtle.
Totally different ballgame. It's not about function anymore. It's all nuance, social strategy, cultural understanding.
So less about just getting food, more about the whole experience.
Exactly. Think about the objective change. A to B1, you execute a transaction. Table, food, bill, done.
Okay.
C1 level, you're actively shaping the entire thing from subtly getting the best table to building real rapport with the staff, discussing the food like you actually know what you're talking about.
Right. So the mission for you, our listener, today isn't just basic communication.
No way.
It's about upgrading, moving towards strategically navigating, mastering that whole linguistic and social dance.
The social ballet, as you said earlier.
For a hopefully much better dining experience overall.
That's the aim.
Okay, let's dive in. Starting with those fundamentals, the confidence builders.
Right. So the journey kicks off the second you walk through that door, that first greeting. It's simple, but it really sets the tone.
Okay, so you walk in, you're looking for someone, usually near the entrance.
Yep. Often at a little desk or stand, sometimes called the host stand or reception.
And the person there, what's the right word?
Good question. Vocabulary time. Generally, it's the host if it's a man.
Host. Got it.
Or hostess if it's a woman.
Hostess, okay.
Their job, greet people, manage the tables, basically organize the seating.
And before you even say anything in English.
Ah, yes. The universal step. It's powerful. Make eye contact and smile. A real warm smile.
Sounds simple.
It is, but incredibly effective. It cuts across cultures. It just says, hey, I'm friendly, happy to be here.
And that helps the interaction start positively.
Absolutely. Creates a good vibe from the get-go.
Okay, smile delivered.
Yeah.
Now, the words. We need that core phrase for asking for a table.
The linguistic anchor, as you called it. It's efficient, everyone understands it, and it's polite. Ready?
Yep.
A table for number, please.
That's it.
That's a magic phrase. Contains everything they need.
So if there are 4 of us, a table for 4, please.
Perfect. Or if you're alone.
A table for 1, please.
Exactly. You just swap out the number. Super adaptable.
Yeah, you highlighted please there. Seems obvious, but...
At this level, non-negotiable. Seriously, it turns the demand, I need a table, into a request.
much smoother.
Way smoother. Ensures courtesy, makes the host's job easier, gets you seated faster usually. It's just basic politeness in this context.
Right. So you've said your polite phrase, assuming they're not swamped.
Yeah. If it's not crazy busy, you'll likely get a welcoming reply. Something like,
Right this way.
of course, right this way, please. Or maybe, certainly follow me, please.
And that means your table's ready.
Bingo. That's your cue. Follow them, sit down, interaction, complete. Clear, successful, no stress. Hashtag tag 1.2 navigating reservations and waiting.
Okay, but let's be real. Popular places, Friday nights. You often need to plan ahead.
Absolutely. Which brings us to the next key bit of vocab, reservation.
Or sometimes booking.
Yep, booking is common too, especially outside the US. Means the same thing. You've called ahead, saved your spot.
Always a good idea for busy times.
Definitely the safe bet. So the host might suspect they're full, or it's standard practice, and they'll ask.
Do you have a reservation?
That's the one, the essential question.
And you need to be ready with an answer. If you did call ahead.
You confirm clearly, yes, I do. And then the crucial bit. The reservation is under the name, your name.
Under the name. That's the key phrase.
That's what they're listening for. It lets them find your booking in their system instantly. It's under the name Smith, for example.
Got it. And if you didn't book?
Even simpler. Just a straightforward, no, we don't.
No need for excuses or long stories.
Nope. No, we don't. That's it. But This is where things might get interesting if they are busy.
This is where the wait comes in.
Exactly. You need to understand this concept. A wait means no tables are free right now. You have to hang on.
Maybe at the bar or a little waiting area.
Usually, yeah. Until someone else leaves and they can clean and set a table for you.
And they'll give you an idea of how long.
They should. They'll estimate the time. You'll hear things like, the wait is about 20 minutes.
So maybe it'll be approximately half an hour.
Precisely. Understanding that estimate is key. Now, you've got the info. You have two options. Both are perfectly fine, totally graceful.
Option 1.
Yeah.
The wait time is okay.
You just say, okay, we'll wait. Simple. Find a spot, relax, maybe look at the menu.
Option 2.
Yeah.
20 minutes feels too long. You're starving, or you've got theater tickets.
You decline, but politely. Something like, oh, I see. A little pause. Thank you anyway. Goodbye.
Clean, courteous, no drama.
Exactly. You got the information, made your decision, polite exit, done. Hashtag 1.3, ordering food and settling the bill.
Right. So you've navigated the arrival, maybe waited a bit, and now you're seated. Who takes care of you next?
That would be your server. Quick vocab check again. Historically, waiter for a man, waitress for a woman.
But that's changing a bit.
Increasingly, yeah. The gender-neutral term server is becoming much more common and is always a safe bet.
Okay, server. And they'll bring the menu.
They'll present the menu, yes.
Yeah.
The list of food and drinks. And now, the second magic phrase. The one for ordering.
This one handles everything. Drinks, starters, mains.
Absolutely everything. It's the gold standard for polite ordering. I would like.
More often shortened in speech.
Yeah, contracts naturally to I'd like. So versatile.
Give us an example.
I'd like some water, please. Or I would like the pepperoni pizza, please. Always polite, always clear.
You just slot in whatever you want.
Exactly. And that please is still important here too.
Good reminder. Is there an alternative if I'd like? Feels a bit formal.
Yeah, the source material points out, and it's very true, can I have, works just as well. Equally polite, very common.
So, can I have the chicken salad, please?
Perfect, works great. The main point for the learner here is you don't need 10 different ways to order. Master 1 or 2 like I'd like or can I have, and you're completely covered.
Okay, food ordered, enjoyed, plates cleared. Time to leave. We need to pay.
Final step. And here comes that little vocabulary quirk, depending on where you are in the world.
Ah, yes, the check versus bill thing.
Right. In American English, it's the check.
Can we get the check?
Exactly. Whereas in British English and lots of other places, it's the bill.
Could we have the bill, please?
Precisely. First step, though, you need to get your server's attention. No shouting.
Right, just eye contact. A little nod.
Yep, a raised hand slightly, eye contact, a nod when they look over. That usually does it.
Then the request. Short and sweet.
Short, direct, courteous is best. Just the bill, please, or the check, please.
Simple enough.
If you want a slightly fuller question, that's fine too.
Like, excuse me, can we have the bill, please?
Perfect. Or, may we have the check, please? Works too. Both are functional, perfectly polite, gets the job done.
Okay, payment sorted, almost out the door.
Just the graceful exit left.
Crap.
As you leave, take a second. A quick sincere thank you to your server, or maybe the host if they're by the door.
Something like, thank you, that was lovely.
Yeah, or thank you, everything was delicious. Followed by a simple goodbye, ends the whole thing on a positive note.
And that's it. That's the A2B1 toolkit. Covers arrival to exit.
It does. It gives you that functional confidence. You can handle the basics anywhere, stress-free. But
Now we pivot
now we pivot. We leave the functional toolkit behind.
and move into the strategy, the nuance.
Yeah.
The C1 level.
Exactly. From function to fluency, from transaction to, well, performance. Transition. All right. So for those aiming higher, C1 fluency and beyond, we're shifting focus completely now. Forget just getting by.
This isn't about basic needs anymore.
Not at all. This is about the social ballet, where every word counts not just for clarity, but for its strategic effect, its cultural weight.
How you use language to actually shape the experience.
Precisely. To curate something better, more sophisticated.
Okay, let's revisit making a reservation. But with this C1 mindset, you said sophisticated diners don't make demands. They use softeners.
Exactly. Linguistic softeners, they signal courtesy, flexibility. Basically, they make you sound like the kind of guest a restaurant wants.
So compare the basic, I want a table for 2 at 8 p.m.
Right. Functional but blunt. The C1 approach is different. Maybe something like, I was hoping to book a table.
I was hoping to. That's the softener.
That's a classic one, wonderfully indirect. It implies you understand it might not be possible. Then add more flexibility. For 2. for this Friday evening.
Okay.
Perhaps around 8 neuro. That perhaps around is key too.
Shows you're not rigid about the exact time. 7.45, 8.15 might be okay.
Exactly. You sound accommodating right from the start. Much better impression.
And C1 isn't just about when, it's about where you sit too. Curating the physical space.
Absolutely. You're moving beyond passively accepting whatever table they give you. You make specific but polite requests.
Like asking for a view.
We'd love a table with a view is a great way to phrase it.
Oh.
Or if you want something more intimate.
Maybe a quiet nook.
Perfect phrase. Quiet nook or perhaps a booth. Using vocabulary like nook subtly signals you're a discerning diner. You know the terminology.
And what about special occasions? Anniversaries, birthdays. How do you mention that strategically? I worry it sounds like asking for free stuff.
That's the C1 art. You don't make it the main point. You mention it almost in passing.
How?
Maybe when they confirm the booking details. Okay, table for 2, Friday at 8, under Smith. You might add, and I should probably mention, it's actually a special occasion for us. We're celebrating our anniversary.
Stating a fact.
Pure information. But it's a strategic signal. It implicitly suggests, hey, this evening is important, maybe a slightly nicer table or extra attention would be appreciated.
Without directly asking for a free cake or the best table.
Exactly. It primes the staff to want to make it special for you because they know it matters. It leverages the occasion subtly.
Clever. Okay, fast forward. We arrive, reservation confirmed, but the table they lead us to is less than ideal. Right by the kitchen doors, maybe.
The dreaded thoroughfare, as our source calls it, that busy, noisy central path.
Yeah.
You need the language to negotiate a change, but gracefully.
Rule number 1.
Avoid direct criticism of the table. Don't say, this table is awful.
Okay, what do we say? Maybe we want somewhere less exposed.
Good word. You could say you'd prefer a table that's a little less conspicuous.
Conspicuous, meaning private, tucked away.
Exactly. High-level vocab that signals your preference politely.
And I like that strategy from the source. Compliment first, then frame the request practically.
It's brilliant diplomatic language. You acknowledge something positive, then state your need.
Like, wow, the atmosphere in here is lovely.
But I wonder if perhaps we could find a spot with slightly better acoustics. We were hoping to catch up properly tonight.
So you're not complaining about the table. You're focused on needing good acoustics to converse.
Precisely. You shift it from dissatisfaction to a practical requirement. Makes you sound reasonable, not fussy.
Love it. What if the issue is just being too close to the next table? Elbow to elbow.
Again, indirection is key. You frame your desire for space as consideration for them. Something like, this looks nice, but I wonder if there might be a table with just a little more separation. We'd hate to impose on our neighbor's conversation.
Wow. So you're asking for more privacy for yourself by pretending to worry about bothering them.
That's peak C1 social maneuvering right there. Thoughtful consideration as a cloak for personal preference.
Okay, seated at a decent table.
Yeah.
Now, the server interaction. C1 means seeing them as more than just someone taking orders, right?
Absolutely. The goal shifts immediately. Establish a connection. Build rapport. Treat them as a person, not a function.
So they introduce themselves. Hi, I'm Daniel. I'll be your server tonight. What's the immediate C1 response?
Use their name instantly. Daniel, thank you very much. That would be lovely. Or, thanks, Daniel. Nice to meet you.
Just using the name makes that much difference.
Huge difference. It's small, subtle, but it says, I heard you. I acknowledge you as an individual. It personalizes the interaction right away.
And Daniel is probably more likely to give good service if he feels seen.
You got it. Attention breeds attention. It shifts the dynamic from transactional to relational, even if just slightly.
Makes sense. And besides using their name, we should show engagement before ordering through intelligent inquiry.
Yes, proactive questioning. Don't just sit there silently waiting to order drinks. Ask something that shows curiosity and invites their expertise.
Like asking about specials.
That's the classic C1 move. Before we look at the wine, Daniel, could you tell us if there are any specials this evening that aren't listed on the menu?
Why is that strategic? Apart from maybe finding a hidden gem.
It positions the server as the expert. They get to showcase their knowledge, the fresh fish, the chef's experiment for the night. They usually enjoy this.
And it signals to them what?
That you're not just there to point at menu item number 3. You're interested, engaged, you appreciate their input. You're setting the stage for a collaborative, hopefully better service experience.
All right, let's get into the menu itself. At the C1 level, this isn't just a list of food. You called it persuasive writing.
It really is. especially in higher-end places. It's crafted to evoke feelings, build a narrative, and, let's be honest, justify the price tag.
So we need to decode this language. Let's start with words about where the food comes from, provenance and quality, like artisanal.
Artisanal bread, artisanal cheese. It doesn't just mean handmade. It implies care, tradition, small batches, skill, the opposite of mass produce.
Suggests higher quality, worth paying more for.
That's the subtext. Same with words like heritage or heirloom, often used for vegetables or animal breeds.
What's the story there? Heirloom tomatoes.
It suggests these are older, traditional varieties predating modern industrial farming. The implication is deeper, more complex flavor, authenticity, not the bland uniform stuff.
Got it. And provenance. That word seems everywhere now.
It simply means the origin, the source. But when a menu highlights it, pork with a provenance from the Lake District, it signals meticulous sourcing.
The chef cares where stuff comes from.
Exactly. It implies freshness, quality control, maybe ethical considerations. It's the heart of the farm-to-table idea.
Ah, farm to table. That's another one.
Means a short, transparent journey from the source to your plate. Wholesome, sustainable, fresh. That's the feeling it evokes.
What about foraged? Sounds very adventurous.
It does. Think wild mushrooms, berries, herbs gathered from nature. It implies rarity, seasonality, a connection to the wild.
And probably a lot of effort.
Immense effort and scarcity. That's why foraged items are usually expensive. It signals exclusivity. You know it's special and seasonal if it's foraged.
Okay, moving from source to technique, lots of French terms here. Deconstructed, like a deconstructed cheesecake.
Means the chef is being modern, maybe a bit playful or experimental. They've taken the classic elements of the dish.
The base, the filling, the topping.
And arranged them separately on the plate. It invites you to experience the familiar flavors in a new way. Signals innovation, technique.
Right, and sous vide, pronounced.
Sous vide, French for under vacuum.
Why highlight this cooking method on a menu? What's the promise to the diner?
Precision, technical skill. Sous vide means cooking food, often sealed in a bag, in a precisely temperature-controlled water bath.
And the result.
Perfect. Even cooking, especially for proteins like steak or chicken. Edge to edge, perfect temperature, incredibly tender, juicy. It signals the kitchen is serious about technique and consistency.
That makes sense. It communicates quality through process. Lastly, those evocative verbs. They never just say cooked.
No, the verbs specify the how and hint at the result. Pan-seared implies a beautiful, crisp brown crust from high heat.
Versus just fried.
Right. Blanched for vegetables means quickly boiled and cooled, retaining crispness and bright color. Cured means preserved, usually with salt or sugar, changing the texture and flavor, like salmon or ham.
So understanding these terms isn't just about knowing definitions.
It's about reading the story the chef is trying to tell you about the quality, care, and skill behind the dish, and the price. Hashtag 2.4, the art of the advanced order and complaint.
Okay, we understand the menu better. Now, ordering at the C1 level isn't just stating choices. It's that polite interrogation.
Yes. Asking smart questions shows you're engaged, appreciative. It's not being difficult, it's showing interest.
So how do we start that soft opening?
You pick something that genuinely interests you on the menu. Instead of just saying, I'll have the fish, you say,
I was intrigued by the market fish.
perfect.
Yeah.
Could you tell me a little more about it? You're inviting them into a conversation, positioning them as the expert.
And then you can follow up.
Definitely. After they describe it, it's halibut, pan-seared with a lemon butter sauce. You can drill down politely.
Like, oh, that sounds exquisite. Is the sauce very rich or is it more of a light emulsion?
Exactly. That shows a sophisticated palate. You're thinking about balance, texture, not just basic flavor.
Now, the tricky part, special requests, modifications. How do we ask for changes without sounding like a nightmare customer?
The absolute key is acknowledging the imposition. Recognize that you're asking for extra work.
So instead of swap the fries for salad,
You phrase it like, I was wondering, would it be an imposition to substitute the fries for a side salad? Using that word imposition is peak politeness. It shows you know it's an extra step.
and that British softener we talked about.
Ah, yes, the delightful exaggeration for politeness. Would it be terribly difficult to perhaps get the sauce on the side?
That terribly difficult almost makes it sound like you're apologizing for asking.
Exactly. It's a high-level softener. Very effective.
What about genuine dietary needs? Allergies, for example, still need to be polite, but also clear and firm.
Absolutely. Safety first. But again, frame it collaboratively. Position the server as your guide to safety.
So something like,
I should mention, just so the kitchen is aware, I have a serious nut allergy. Could you possibly advise me on which dishes would be safest, or if there's anything I should definitely avoid?
you're asking for their expert advice, not making demands.
Precisely. It's about ensuring clear communication for safety professionally.
Okay, now, the moment we all hope to avoid, but sometimes can't. The complaint. Something's wrong with the food or service. C1 strategy.
Never aggressive, never accusatory. Start soft.
Those soft openers again.
I'm so sorry to trouble you, excuse me, I hate to mention this, but you're cushioning the blow before you even state the issue.
And the language itself should be subjective. Personal experience, not objective fact.
Crucial distinction. Instead of, this steak is tough, which is confrontational.
You say.
I'm finding my steak perhaps a little on the tough side. Or, this isn't quite as warm as I might have expected. Use qualifiers. A little, perhaps, finding it to be.
Takes the edge off. Makes it about your perception.
Exactly. And if the order is just plain wrong, they brought you fish instead of chicken.
Frame it as a misunderstanding.
The brilliant strategy. Oh, excuse me. I think there may have been a slight misunderstanding. I thought I'd ordered the chicken.
Removes blame. Allows them to fix it easily without getting defensive.
Perfect. It smooths over the error.
Lastly, controlling the pace. If things are coming out too fast or too slow,
You give polite, elegant instructions. You're the host of your own experience.
so if it's too fast,
We're actually in no rush at all this evening, so please feel free to pace the courses out for us.
and if you need a moment before the next course,
Would it be possible to have a short break before our main courses arrive? Polite, clear, and puts you in control of the evening's rhythm. Hashtag 2.5, the connoisseur's lexicon, beyond delicious.
right, we've decoded the menu's language. Now, when we respond to the food, especially if it's amazing, C1 means going beyond just, this is good or delicious.
Absolutely. You need a richer vocabulary to express appreciation like a connoisseur. Specificity is key.
So for something really refined, beautifully made,
Exquisite. That's a great word. The presentation was exquisite, or an exquisite balance of flavors suggests craftsmanship.
what if it's even better than exquisite? Mind-blowingly good.
Then you might reach for sublime. Use it sparingly, though. It implies transcendence near perfection. That chocolate dessert was simply sublime.
Okay, save sublime for the truly special moments. What if you want to praise the chef's skill directly?
You could call the dish a triumph. Like, this lamb shank, honestly, it's a triumph. It frames it as a major achievement. Generous praise.
Let's get into specific flavor types. Sharp, bright flavors, like lemon or vinegar.
You could say piquant or zesty, a wonderfully piquant vinaigrette. The citrus notes were really zesty.
And for deep, strong, full flavors, like a rich stew or a bold red wine.
Robust, that's the word. A robust flavor profile, a very robust Chianti.
What about the opposite? Praising something for being delicate, understated.
That shows real sophistication, noticing the subtle stuff. You'd use subtle.
Pow.
There's a subtle hint of saffron in this risotto, isn't there? It's lovely. Praising subtlety shows a refined palate.
Now texture or mouthfeel. This feels like advanced territory.
It is, but texture is so important to enjoyment. For something smooth, rich, creamy, like a perfect panna cotta.
Velvety.
Exactly. A wonderfully velvety texture.
And that interesting word, unctuous. Sounds slightly negative, but isn't always.
Right. It means a rich, luxurious, often slightly fatty or oily texture. Think of a rich gravy or slow-cooked pork belly. It's usually a compliment in a food context.
So the sauce had an amazing unctuous quality.
Perfect. It signals satisfying richness achieved through skill.
And for something incredibly light, airy, like a foam or a very delicate meringue.
You might even use ethereal. It suggests lightness, almost not there-ness. The foam was positively ethereal.
Using words like velvety, unctuous, ethereal, it really signals you're paying close attention.
It shows you're engaging with the food on a deeper level, using the kind of language chefs themselves might use. Hashtag 2.6, navigating the wine list, and sommelier.
Okay, wine lists,
Yes.
often intimidating. And then there's the sommelier, the wine expert. How does the C1 speaker interact here?
The goal is collaboration, not confrontation or showing off. Appear knowledgeable enough to guide them, but open to their expertise. Don't try to outsmart the sommelier.
So expressing preferences for red wine, we need some technical terms. body tannins.
Yeah, those are key. If you like big, powerful reds, you ask for something full-bodied and robust. That signals high alcohol, strong tannins.
And if you prefer something lighter, smoother.
You'd ask for something lighter on the palate, perhaps specifying soft tannins. You're giving them structural guidelines.
Makes sense. For white wines, it's more about the flavor profile.
Often, yes. Do you want crisp and zesty with good minerality?
Minerality.
Yeah.
That's like whetstone, flinty taste, common in Sauvignon Blanc.
Exactly. That points them towards high-acid, unoaked styles. Or do you prefer more complexity and perhaps a buttery texture?
Which suggests
Oak influence, maybe malolactic fermentation. Think richer styles like many Chardonnays. Giving these clues helps them narrow down the vast list for you.
now the really delicate part, price. How do you indicate your budget to the sommelier without actually saying, I only want to spend 50 quid?
The elegant non-verbal technique. It's brilliant. You scan the list, find a wine that's roughly in your desired price range. Okay.
You point to that wine on the list and you ask the sommelier, could you tell me a little bit about this one?
Just pointing is the signal.
A good sommelier reads that signal instantly. They'll talk about that wine, yes, but then they'll understand your price bracket. Their subsequent recommendations will magically cluster around that price point.
Wow. Subtle, discreet, effective.
It avoids all awkwardness. Very C1.
Finally, the tasting ritual. They pour a tiny bit in your glass. What are you actually doing?
This is so often misunderstood. You are checking for one thing and one thing only. Is the wine faulty? Specifically, is it corked?
Corked, meaning contaminated by a bad cork. Smells weird.
Exactly. Musty, damp, cardboard, wet dog kind of smell. If it smells like that, you politely reject it. If it smells fine like wine, then it's fine.
You are not deciding if you personally like the flavor profile at this stage.
Absolutely not. That decision was made when you chose the bottle. You just give it a quick swirl, a sniff, maybe a tiny sip if you need to confirm if it's okay, a simple nod, and
That's lovely, thank you. Perfect. That's the signal to pour for the table. No need for elaborate pronouncements on the cherry notes just yet.
okay, meal's over, wine's finished, we're nearing the end. How does the C1 speaker signal they're ready for the bill without waving frantically?
Subtle cues. Maybe deliberately placing your folded napkin on the table, catching the server's eye when they pass, closing the menus if they're still there. It's about nonverbal signals first.
And when you ask verbally, we need something smoother than just bill, please.
Yes, polish it up. Acknowledge they might be busy. Whenever you have a moment is a great start.
Okay.
We're ready to settle up. Settle up is a nice natural phrasal verb for paying.
Whenever you have a moment, we're ready to settle up.
Got it. Sounds polite, not demanding.
Exactly. Now the payment dance, especially if one person intends to treat the others.
Right. The person paying says,
Let me get this, or, oh, this one's on me. Clear signals.
but the other person can't just say, okay, great.
Yeah.
Social obligation.
Obligation to protest, at least mildly. Oh, are you sure we can split it, really? Even if you secretly hope they insist.
Exactly. And the host must then insist to complete the ritual.
Using that key phrase for reciprocity.
Crucial phrase. No, honestly, I insist. It was my pleasure. And the clincher. You absolutely must let me get the next one.
The promise of next time makes the generosity feel less like a debt.
Precisely. It balances the social scales. Essential for maintaining harmony.
Okay, but what if you really do want to split the bill? Everyone pays their share.
Keep it simple and direct with the server. Could we split the bill, please? Or maybe, shall we split it?
And that informal one.
Shall we go Dutch? Fine among friends, maybe slightly too informal in a very fancy place, but generally understood.
Final hurdle, the tip. Gratuity. This can be confusing, especially with different customs.
You absolutely must read the bill carefully here. Look for key phrases.
Like, service charge included.
If you see that, it means the tip, service charge, is already added to the total. Theoretically, no more is needed, though some might add a little extra for exceptional service.
What if it says service is not included?
That's a clear sign. A tip is expected. The amount varies by country and custom. 15-20% is common in the US, for instance.
And the ambiguous one, a discretionary service charge has been added. Discretionary meaning.
Optional. They've added it for convenience, but you technically have the right to ask for it to be removed if the service was genuinely poor.
Though that might feel awkward.
It's a significant step, yeah. Most people pay it unless things were really bad. Just be aware of what discretionary means.
Okay, bill paid, tip sorted, just the final exit, don't just vanish.
No, maintain that connection. As you leave, make eye contact with the host or your server if possible. Offer one last positive comment.
Something sincere.
Thank you so much. That was a really wonderful evening. Or everything was absolutely superb. Thank you.
Leaves a good final impression.
Exactly. It reinforces the positive relationship and ends the entire social ballet on a high note. #tag outro.
So there we have it. We've journeyed from those foundational A to B1 phrases, the necessary toolkit, all the way up to the C1 level, that sophisticated strategic performance.
And the difference, I think, is really profound. It's moving beyond just making a transaction happen.
To actively shaping the entire experience through language.
Precisely. C1 mastery lets you curate the evening, build rapport, show appreciation, handle issues with grace. It optimizes everything.
It really drives home how much our choice of words impacts the interaction, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You go from just being a customer
To being a participant, a collaborator almost,
Yeah.
a discerning guest whose input is valued, partly because of how you communicate that input.
a linguistic strategist at the dinner table.
You could say that, which leads us to a final thought, something for you, the listener, to mull over.
Okay?
If we accept that in these C1 scenarios, nearly every word is chosen strategically, from the menu's provenance to your "I was hoping to," or your description of a sauce as umptuous,
If it's all about telling a story or achieving an outcome,
then how does recognizing this conscious strategic use of language in a restaurant change how you might read any menu from now on? Or, perhaps more broadly, how you interpret any kind of persuasive writing or communication you encounter anywhere?
that's interesting. Looking for the strategy behind the words everywhere.
Food for thought, perhaps.
Indeed. Well, thank you for guiding us through those two levels today. Hopefully these insights will make everyone's next dining experience, well, maybe a little more strategic and definitely more enjoyable.
Hope so.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time.